So the new Resident Evil Village DLC came out just the other day, and it includes new content for the base game, a brand new story chapter focusing on Ethan's daughter Rose, as well as new content for the Mercenaries mode. The first and most notable addition to the game is the inclusion of a third-person mode, allowing you to play the game you know and love from a completely new perspective. This was easily the most welcomed addition to the game, at least for me personally. Both Resident Evil 7 and Village were entirely in first person, and I never agreed with this decision from day one. Resident Evil is a franchise that is made extremely successful due to its lovable and memorable characters. Seeing these characters interact with each other and their surroundings, their actions and emotions while in a survival horror setting, and seeing how they would overcome the horrors that awaited them, allowed us to feel connected to these characters, and it's what makes us so attached to them. And believe it or not, but a big reason that we were able to do that is because the Resident Evil franchise was always in third person. You can actually see your character, you relate to them, and form a bond with the character you're playing as. I found this to be extremely difficult to do when it came to Ethan Winters. Looking through his eyes meant that I couldn't see him, his body language, or how he was feeling during most of the experience. Sure, occasionally he'd scream and shout in pain, but it's not the same as being able to see facial expressions or visible emotion. Ethan, again, just an emotional roller coaster of a human being, and I really hope you guys don't detect any sarcasm. His reaction to Mia getting bullet riddled was like non-existent.
Mia, oh god.
So I see Ethan hasn't changed much. He was more emotionally upset about Chris holding his daughter.
Rose? What the hell are you doing with my daughter?
Than Mia getting gunned down. I probably should set my expectations for Ethan real fucking low. I assume that this decision was made with the intention of making the player feel like they themselves were the main character, rather than playing as someone else. However, I am not a fan of this idea. Ethan as a character suffers from this decision, and when it comes to the most likable Resident Evil characters, he is way at the bottom of the list by comparison.
I'm sick of bugs.
Oh yeah, Ethan, hit him with the one-liners, baby! Oh, it's beautiful. So that being said, seeing the game make an attempt to return to its roots is certainly a step in the right direction, and I will definitely find myself taking on yet another playthrough of this game from the superior point of view.
Yeah, eat it. Taste my Ethan nuts. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
The only shitty thing about third-person mode is that all of the cutscenes are still in first-person, and we are still not allowed to see what Ethan looks like, because the game literally won't let you turn the camera in front of him. Oh! Dude, you could kinda see his face, but not all of it. So Ethan automatically turns so that you can't see that bitch's face. Motherfucker. Next up, we have the new story DLC, Shadows of Rose. Upon starting it up, I was immediately met with the pleasant surprise of being able to play through the DLC in third-person mode as well. They could have just as easily chose not to implement this feature in both the main game and the DLC, so this was pretty awesome, and I was totally stoked about it. In the beginning moments of this DLC, I was quite immersed, and they did a good job making it creepy and surprisingly violent. But once I got past the intro sequence, I started noticing some glaring issues. Practically every single area in the DLC are places that we've already visited while playing as Ethan in the base game. There were no new or exciting locations to explore. It was all the same shit. The game has you return to Castle Dimitrescu, except this time more linear than ever. There were many roadblocks and barriers preventing me from exploring and finding hidden secrets that could potentially help me on my journey. Ah, fuck. The DLC is very much set in a way that has the player consistently moving forward in a straight line and never straying from the path. Dude, this shit's so fucking linear, man. Oh shit. No! As far as changes to the gameplay, Rose has access to some of her new special abilities. Things that Chris didn't even know she could do. Yo! Get the fuck back, son! I'm a fucking Jedi! Those abilities consist of killing flowers. Focus here. That's it? What the fuck? That was so anticlimactic. I just pointed at it. I thought she was gonna go like, BAM! And a fucking shockwave would come out. That was boring as fuck. As well as temporarily freezing your enemies in place. Basically your poor man's stasis from Dead Space. As pathetically hilarious as her lack of abilities were, at least they served to remove the roadblocks preventing you from exploring, so at least they were doing something. Speaking of Rose, her character building and backstory was basically just the same story we've seen many times before in other characters, and it's unfortunately pretty underwhelming. I mean, I don't dislike Rose or anything, she's fine, and the voice actress does a good job trying to make you care about the character. But in actuality, she's not all that interesting herself, and the voice actress has a difficult task here. She can only do so much. I've seen Rose's exact backstory in other characters from other franchises that did a better job telling you that story, so there isn't much she could do about that. It is what it is. She'd probably be a lot more likable if she had more time to flesh out the character. However, doing that within the span of a DLC would be pretty difficult. Returning to previous locations from the base game also contributed to the fact that there were reused assets left and right. Instead of making a new antagonist for Rose to deal with, they just bring back the Duke and make him evil.
Find her! Hunt her down!
God forbid they create a new character model, let alone hire a new voice actor to play them. The enemy designs were new and visually different enough, however they still share striking resemblances to enemies from the base game. Even though they looked somewhat different, they didn't feel all that different gameplay-wise, which made them rather uninteresting. Hell, even the mysterious person talking to Rose via magical text message felt like Capcom just didn't want to hire a voice actor to actually say the words, and this was their idea of saving money. Touch my words. Are you fucking kidding me? This is so fucking stupid, dude. Oh my god. That's so dumb! A gift from God. I send you the holy handgun. Smite your enemies. Dude, why couldn't God send me an RPG? All of this made the DLC come across as very lazy, and like they just slapped together old content that they already had, rather than taking the time to make something new and exciting. Although honestly, many DLCs in other video games suffer from this exact same issue. So it's not like I got my hopes up and I was like terribly disappointed or anything. Not all DLCs can be as impressive as The Last of Us Left Behind. Shadows of Rose was beginning to feel quite stale, and I was starting to become less invested by the second. I would even go as far as to say I was getting bored. But then I made it to the second half of the DLC, and things started to become more interesting. The DLC suddenly became much more focused on the horror element, and I can honestly say I was genuinely spooked. And even though they were still just reusing assets, they succeeded in freaking me out quite effectively. So I was impressed by that. If anything, it served to pull me back in and allow me to become invested once again. Bro, Rose, shut the fuck up. Her scared breathing is creeping me out. Dude, it's because she's breathing so panicky. It's creeping me out. Like, when she's afraid, I'm afraid. And they're doing a really... Fuck you! The game also became more focused on stealth sections and puzzles towards the end, and less focused on the somewhat stale combat. So it was a welcome change to switch things up for the time being, and a genuine effort was made to keep me interested. So I was thankful for that at least. And the more I played through the DLC, I can honestly say that it was getting better and better. And I gotta say, the ending to this DLC made the whole experience worth it. It was fantastic, and a huge pleasant surprise. Now, just a heads up, I'm going to be talking a lot about the ending of this DLC, and these will be massive spoilers for how it ends. So if you want to avoid those, then be sure to skip ahead to this point of the video. The timestamp will be shown to you on screen right now, and if you skip to that point, you won't be spoiled. I'll be spoiling the ending in 3, 2, 1. So I want to talk about how well the ending was executed. So not only did the DLC get better as time went on, but this DLC's ending was actually much better than the base game's ending, and it served to be a more conclusive and satisfying way to end the story. So to nobody's surprise, the mystery messages were coming from Ethan himself, whose consciousness lived on through the Mutamycete, and so he made every effort and attempt to save his daughter. This means that Ethan and Rose actually got to meet one another and actually interact, which was great, because Ethan never got to do that in the base game on account of Rose was a fucking baby. So seeing that was actually really satisfying. Being able to finally meet the daughter that he sacrificed everything for was very fulfilling. What also really impressed me was that Ethan was more likable in this DLC than he ever has been in the series prior to this. Now, if you're familiar with my content, then you would already know how vocal I am about how much I've always hated Ethan as a character. And I've talked about it so many times and the reasons why that I'm just a broken record at this point. But to basically summarize, he's about as interesting a character as a wooden plank. He rarely shows emotion or likable qualities, and when he does, they honestly fall flat on their face most of the time. With uninteresting dialogue, shitty as fuck one-liners, no interesting backstory, and overall just being a boring one-note protagonist, I've never been a fan of this character. And I would have preferred that characters in the series that haven't had that much screen time, characters like Barry or Rebecca, that are already likable and have established themselves within the series, they definitely deserved some more time in the spotlight, as opposed to this Joker that Capcom is desperately trying to make me like, and with no success. However, after being Ethan's #1 hater for a few years now, I can honestly say that I've actually changed my mind, and his performance in this DLC actually redeemed the character in my eyes. Even when Ethan was just magical literature, he actually managed to not only be interesting, but he was more than just text on a wall. You could tell there was an actual personality there from the way he was talking, which actually impressed me.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All you, baby!
Pony, but I guess this'll do.
Not only that, but once Ethan finally made his grand appearance, he was actually being helpful, borderline badass even. And I want to stress how good the voice actor did delivering his lines. He had actual meaningful dialogue that I could take seriously. I felt the impact and emotion from his dialogue with Rose. And this was honestly a side of Ethan that I never knew existed. I never knew that the character was capable of making me feel something. This was a very welcome change to the character that I've hated for so long. I mean, sure, he's still the same one-note character, but he's really selling it here. The family man doing everything in his power to save his daughter and show her how much he loves her. And that's a strong enough subject that anyone could respect or appreciate. And I can honestly say that he earned my respect here. He wasn't trying to be a superhero, pulling off some crazy bullshit, and he wasn't throwing around cringy one-liners trying to make you laugh. He completely played into his character's strengths, and he just rode that horse all the way. Finally, he displayed an actual meaningful performance that made an impact. How it took this long for Capcom to show us the likable side of this character is beyond me. Why was Ethan finally redeemed in a fucking DLC as opposed to his 2 full game-length adventures? I have no idea, but better late than never, I suppose. I now realize that Capcom themselves are to blame for Ethan's lack of success. He clearly had the potential to shine, but Capcom just didn't let him have his moment until now. Which is a shame because his games are actually pretty damn solid, but he himself was always the worst thing about them. At the very least, he went out with a bang, and I don't hate him anymore. I actually kinda like him now, so this DLC did a tremendous job giving me a change of heart when it comes to Ethan. Oh, and to top it all off, the game ends with a reused boss fight with Mother Miranda. However, Rose's battle with her was actually a lot more fun than Ethan's was. At this point, Rose reveals her true abilities, and they're pretty fucking awesome. All of a sudden, she can flash step like a fucking Bleach character. She can absorb huge fireballs and turn them into more power. And she can do this and make Mother Miranda look like a little bitch. This part was a ton of fun, and it really spiced up the gameplay. And it also made Rose seem so much more impressive. Now when she actually says, "I got shit that Chris doesn't even know about," the line actually makes sense, and I'm not snickering at how stupid it sounds. So, if you want to take the time to play through Shadows of Rose, it's actually quite enjoyable, and surprisingly rewarding. I'm really glad that I took the time to play it, because it was definitely worth it. And lastly, we have the new content for the Mercenaries. Among this available content is a fully playable version of the insanely popular Alcina Dimitrescu. Now, before I get into the gameplay aspects of Lady D, I just want to say how mortified I was once I found out that not only do you have to purchase the DLC to be able to play as her, but she must also be unlocked in the Mercenaries mode. The first requirement in order to play as her is to earn an A rank on the first of the new maps, which is the Bloody Village. The reason for this is because an A rank is required to unlock the next new map, which is the Bloody River. Then you have to get an S rank on this new map in order to unlock Lady D. This requires that the player needs to be skilled enough to accomplish this. Now, regardless of how easy or difficult this may be for you, I just find it ridiculous that she's not only locked behind a paywall, but also a skill barrier on top of that. This really sucks for anyone who just wanted to jump in and play as her without being pressured to actually do well. I mean, these characters were advertised to come with this DLC. But then once you pay for it and you get in game, you're immediately faced with a roadblock and a challenge to overcome. I just think this is a really scummy thing to do, because not everybody wants to commit to that. And you should absolutely get what you paid for straight out of the gate. You shouldn't have to jump through hoops to earn the content that you just bought. Now, gameplay-wise, Lady D is a dream come true, and some of the most fun I've ever had playing a Resident Evil game. Oh my... Look how much taller my camera is. Like, I feel taller. Wow, chat. If you just look down, booba. Holy shit. Oh, ooh, that idle animation. Bruh. Her stature lets her shrug off many enemy attacks, but she does have to crouch to get through doors and navigate rooms with low ceilings. That's so funny. Like, when you see her in the main game, she's doing that all the time. That's funny, though, that when you're actually playing as her and you want to, like, go from one room to the other, you actually have to crouch. That's hilarious. Throw many ornate vanities. What, like a pot? What? Wait. Ornate vanity. What the fuck? Yeah! You can throw the fucking desk with the mirror, just like the cutscene in the story mode. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny, dude. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Capcom is very aware of her overwhelming popularity, and they did not disappoint in the gameplay department. How I fucking... Oh, there we go. Hell yeah! Look how petty and tiny my enemies are. Let me just crouch in this building. This domicile is too small. I'm large and in charge, chat.
What next?
Oh my god, that's awesome, dude. I love it. Bitch! Oh, that's awesome. You can tell the voice actress is having so much fun, too. Oh, did you hear that little giggle? God damn. Yeah, you feel like Lady D when you're playing as her, man. Jesus. Oh, L2, R1? Oh, that's sick! Yo, she fucks people up! Yo, that's so cool! Oh my god, that's so dope. I gotta throw something. But I want there to be a lot of enemies. Hang on. Let me round up the crew. Hey, what's up? Eat shit. Oh my god, that's amazing. I love the psycho laughs. That, oh my god, this is like 10 out of 10 fan service, man. Oh my god, I love it. It's too much fun. It's too much fun. It is so worth it to unlock her. Oh my god, man. It just makes the mode so much more a blast. You actually feel like you're playing as her, towering over your enemies and hacking them to bits. And all the while, her over-the-top personality shows itself. And it's just wonderful and adds so much flavor to the fun. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god, dude. Fuck you. You think you're taller than me? No one's taller than me. Playing as her is an absolute spectacle, and she's absolutely worth the money that you pay for her. It still sucks that you have to unlock her, even after the asking price, but trust me when I say, if you're willing to put in the effort, it is absolutely worth it. Now, Heisenberg, unfortunately, didn't receive the same level of treatment. He's still fun to play, but he has some notable issues. Oh, that's... okay, that's the go-to, man. This thing? Oh my, that does so much damage.
Thanks.
Why would you ever want to use the
one.
buzzsaw over that? Like, they live with a smidge, and that's terribly annoying. Get in it. Fuck! No! Get off me! He doesn't feel as, like, all-powerful as Alcina. But he does feel pretty cool. Oh, right, you can't combo with him. Right.
Come here.
Oh, I think I saw some electricity there. Oh my god, that did a lot. Jesus. That's a good attack. Shut up. That did nothing. He doesn't talk a lot. Like, Alcina was saying stuff relatively often. I heard him open his mouth when I summoned the jet fighter guy. But that's it. Just kind of hoping to hear him talk more. So I think so far my biggest complaint about Heisenberg, he doesn't talk enough. Which is lame, because whenever he's talking is when you're loving him. Like, I feel like a lot of his popularity was through his dialogue. And the throw multiple projectile attack and the buzzsaw, they're not different enough from each other. Like, I never want to throw the buzzsaw over using this move. So one of his moves is just completely overshadowed by the other one. Like, the multi-projectile feels so much better. But the hammer mechanic seems pretty cool. Like, getting this electric blast for killing enemies repeatedly. That's pretty dope. I kind of wish it looked more like over the top. Like fucking Thor's hammer when it comes down, there's a thunderbolt. Like, that would have been sick. Yeah, it's just, I really wish he had something other than the buzzsaw. Like, this is the only ability I ever want to use when I'm playing it. With Alcina, I loved using every single one of her abilities whenever they were off cooldown. They were all very exciting and fun. But with Heisenberg, I find myself just only wanting to use this. And he's kind of slow, too, is another thing. Like, he's so much more slow-paced than Alcina. Like, it takes time to charge, and you can't do anything while you're doing it. And hammer swings are pretty slow, especially when you want to use the charged hammer. That takes time as well. Alcina, it's just, like, action non-stop. So I do feel like Alcina's just way more fun to play. Although oh wait, the Jet Soldier's pretty great, but the problem with that is, because of how great he is, I want to hoard him. Like, that is not an attack you want to use, lightly. Like, you want to save that shit for, like, a big hitter. And I just wasted it on some chump. The fact that you can use flash grenades is really random. Let me see, when he uses a flash grenade, does he fling it magnetically, or does he just throw it like a normal fucking human being? Oh, that's sick, he flings it! Okay, that's cool. Oh, the range on that isn't that great either when it's fully charged. At least I assume it's fully charged when it's yellow like that. I don't know if it could charge faster, or higher, I mean. See, already, like, yeah, I feel like she got way more love, dude, than Heisenberg. Like, what the hell? Like, there was just way more effort put into her, dude, with her fucking insane cackling. And she'll throw out a line every now and then when you're fucking people up. Like, it's great. Why wasn't Heisenberg like that? E-table. It detonates the fucking... Oh! I didn't even know she could do that! Oh my... Ah, fuck, wait. No, I want to grab you! Choke slam him out. Yeah! Oh, that's so cool. What happens if you hold R1? Oh, it's just like a lunging attack. Fucking amazing, dude. Playing as her is so much fun, man. Holy shit. That's some of the most fun I've had in Resident Evil, man. Like, period. Holy shit, that's awesome. And then there's, of course, Chris, and he's definitely the least interesting of the new 3 characters. He's pretty much exactly the same as when you play him in the story mode, except they gave him his famous fists to punch the shit out of your enemies. It's different enough from Ethan to find enjoyment, but to be honest, these are abilities that Chris should have already had from the get-go, so they're hardly surprising or exciting. Honestly, performing his physical attacks in RE5 was way more fun. I think the biggest disappointment of the DLC was that third-person mode was not added to the Mercenaries. It's a real shame because it would have been absolutely fantastic to be able to see Lady D in all her glory from the absolute best angles. Also, the 2 new stages for the Mercenaries are not all that impressive. It's mostly just reused areas from before and nothing too exciting. They're enjoyable enough, I suppose. Overall, I would say that the DLC is pretty damn good, and it really adds to the overall experience that you get with Resident Evil Village. The DLC serves to be a solid addition to the base game. However, it could have been a lot better, which is a shame, and the asking price might be a little too high for so many reused assets. Overall, though, I didn't regret my purchase, and I was quite happy with it. For more reviews, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell for all things trophy related. And if you want to see a video of me getting all the trophies in the DLC, you can check this video out if you're thinking about going for the trophies yourself. And I will definitely see you in the next one.